Alycats indie viewers. So today is part 2 of my top 20 games of the generation, and today I'm going through numbers 10 through 1, which is the most exciting part of this thingy-mabobber, this video arc, I guess you would say. And like I said before, I'm probably going to exclude some games you loved, but these are my choices, this is my opinion, so please respect that and have fun, enjoy the video. And let's just get started. Coming in at number 10 on my list is Red Dead Redemption. Now, before Red Dead Redemption, I wasn't a huge Rockstar fan. Didn't like Grand Theft Auto 4. I loved Bully, but other than that, I didn't really like Rockstar, and I was very hesitant to pick this up. But it's phenomenal. It's set in the Western era, and you play as John Marston, a cowboy, who is wanting to take revenge on this man who's threatening his family. And you go through this amazing journey, and there's a shocker in the middle of the game, and then you can finish the game as someone else. But it's just an engrossing story. It introduced just the scenarios that would randomly pop up where you could help someone that's been, stranded, or you could help someone whose horse has been stolen. And I just love that it was set in the Western era. You rode horses everywhere, you could go to the saloon, and there's just a lot of cultural influence in this game. You could hunt, you got to go to Mexico, and it was just really, really engrossing and deep, and it was a beautiful game. And I spent I don't know how many hours just riding around the countryside, because riding a horse in this game is very soothing for some reason. But it's such a good game, and the Undead Nightmare DLC is awesome as well. But you definitely need to play this game to just experience John Marston's story and to see Rockstar's beautiful open world and just experience this amazing story they've crafted, because this is one of the best stories in gaming you will ever experience. So definitely check out Red Dead Redemption. And number 9 is another Rockstar game, which some of you are going to disagree with this, but it's Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto 5, like I said before, I didn't like Grand Theft Auto 4, so I came in with very low expectations, but I was blown away. This game is the swan song for the current generation. It came in right at the end of the current generation cycle, basically, and it just blew everyone away, basically. And you play as 3 characters, Franklin, Michael, and Trevor, and you get to experience each of their storylines. They all have different missions and different random encounters that happen, and they all live in different places, and their stories correlate, they come together, and you do a lot of heists and preparations for the heists, but you also get to experience their stories, and you can do just random activities like yoga and tennis. You can go, jet ski, well, not jet skiing, you can ride a ski-doo, that's basically what I meant. You can go scuba diving. You can pilot an airplane, which I am terrible at piloting airplanes. But, you even get your own dog in this game, Chop. And this has an iPhone and Android app where you can, customize your own car, teach Chop new tricks, visit Life Invader, their parody of Facebook. It's just so in-depth. And this game, the game world is bigger than Grand Theft Auto 4, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and Red Dead Redemption combined. So it's a huge world. And it's nearly a perfect recreation of Los Angeles. And I've been to Los Angeles, and I saw so many things that were in this game actually in Los Angeles. I was amazed. And this game is just beautiful. I didn't experience any texture pop-in or, graphical glitches or anything. And I just had the time of my life with this game. I finished it. I put like 75 hours into it. I did all the side quests, and I just loved it so much. My least favorite character is Franklin, which I think Franklin is most people's least favorite character. Trevor is my favorite just because he is so unhinged, and Michael was in the middle, but I think Michael's story is a little more compelling than all the others. But you could basically switch between them at free will unless it was on a mission where you're basically told to be one person. And most of the missions are really, really fun. Some of them aren't, but the majority of them are, and this game has probably the best soundtrack of any game I've ever played, because you could choose from so many different radio stations, and there's so many different songs that are played on each radio station. Grand Theft Auto 5 has never been better. I mean, the Grand Theft Auto franchise, but I meant Rockstar has really outdone themselves. They've topped every game they've done before, and if you haven't played Grand Theft Auto 5, at least check out the demo or borrow it from a friend because it's really fun. But I do warn you, it's really immature for everything, and I mean everything. And number 8. I can't think of my numbers. Number 8 on the list is Tales of Vesperia, which I've been addicted to. I don't usually like JRPGs, but Tales of Vesperia is different. The battle system is real-time combat, and it's just a really engrossing game. The story is amazing. I love all the characters. None of them annoy me. And it's just a beautiful game. It's like you're watching an anime, and the main character is Yuri Lowell. He meets this Princess Estelle, and they meet a bunch of other people along their travels. And you're trying to fix the Blastia that have been broken all across the world. And you go to all these different cities, and all the cities are beautifully well made, and the voice acting and localization are top notch. And I can't wait to play more Tales games, and this is just so epic so far, and I love it. And I've been playing it for hours on end because I love it so much. And I would never have played this game if I hadn't introduced myself to Eric Gazebo and Jurassic, because they recommend this game wholeheartedly. I got it, and I'm in love with it, and I can't wait to play New Game Plus and see what happens with that. And I just can't gush about this game enough. I mean, now I want to play more JRPGs because of this game, and that's really saying something when I'm not a huge JRPG fan. Number 7 on the list is a downloadable game, but it's Telltale's The Walking Dead. Now, as you know, I'm a huge Walking Dead head, okay? I'm the biggest fan, and The Walking Dead video game is based on the comic books, not the TV show, and you play as Lee Everett, who is a criminal, and he finds this little girl Clementine during the zombie apocalypse, basically, and you have to take care of her, and you meet a bunch of other survivors, and there's a lot of moral choices. You have dialogue options, but you're on a timer, and if you don't select a dialogue choice within that time period, then you don't say anything. And you have to choose sides, and this is a tough game to play, not like control-wise or mechanic-wise, but emotionally tough to play. And it's very, very wrenching. It's very gory, graphic, but it's worth it. It will change your mind. It'll change your gaming experience. But definitely download The Walking Dead if you haven't played it yet. And number 6 on my top 20 games of this generation list is Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots. And Metal Gear Solid 4 brings back Snake, but he's old Snake, and he's aging because of how he was created. And this story is basically supposed to be a swan song, and you encounter characters like Raiden, Meryl, what's her name? From the first game. Can't remember. Otacon, Sunny, and Eva. There's just so many great characters, and this game is beautiful looking, and you don't have to be stealthy in this game. You can go in all guns blazing. It's basically choose which one you want to be. And there are super long cutscenes, like the final cutscene is 90 minutes, but it goes by in a flash because it's so engrossing and so just well done. And Kojima Productions always does a great job with their games. And I mean, this game isn't too complicated, but there's epic boss battles, epic characters, voice acting is top notch. I'll miss David Hayter in the next Metal Gear Solid because he did an amazing job as Snake. And you know, I want to know what happens with old Snake because at the end it kind of leaves you hanging. And this game was incredible. It's one of the best PS3 exclusives there is. And if you're a Metal Gear Solid fan and haven't played this game yet, do yourself a favor and get it. And if you're not a Metal Gear Solid fan, definitely play it because, I mean, it's very easy to follow along with. And, I mean, if you like stealth games and, you know, games that are very, very chatty, you'll love these. And it's very quirky. I loved it. I can't really explain why I love it so much. I love the whole Metal Gear franchise. It's just I just love how they're presented. There's a lot of quirky touches, but there's also, it's really serious as well. And the characters are always really fleshed out, and the voice acting and localization are superb. And Kojima Productions, like so many other studios, can't do anything wrong in my opinion. And I just love this game so much. And I just lost count of what my games. That was number 6, I think. Number 5. Wait. Yeah, number 5. Sorry, I had to count because I'm losing my mind. Number 5 is Bioshock, the original Bioshock, and getting to explore Raptr after its downfall was incredible, and the whole Woodgie Conley and, plot twist was epic, and, encountering the Big Daddies was really terrifying because they're super strong, and you could choose to save or harvest the little sisters for their atom, and you have Eve, and it's just, you can choose to shoot fireballs, you can choose to shoot a swarm of bees out. It's really awesome. There's a lot of unique mechanics in this game, and the only bad thing about the first one is the hacking minigame, but I mean that's a small complaint. Just getting to explore Raptr, uncovering the story, and finding out who you really are is just, this is just one of the best gaming experiences you can have. And if you really, really like psychological kind of games with really great stories and plot twists, definitely check out Bioshock. It's kind of like a first-person shooter with RPG and action-adventure elements like Bioshock Infinite was. But this one is set underwater in Raptr, and it's gorgeous. Even though it's so dark and depressing, it's a gorgeous game, and I can't highly recommend it enough. Number 4 on the list is another game that I downloaded, but it's also available in the orange box, but it's Portal. Now, Portal is a very short game. It's like 2 hours long, but it introduces you to one of the best villains in gaming, GLaDOS, and the puzzles go from being super easy to hair-pullingly frustrating, but I love it, and I've played this game 3 times. I love Portal so much, and just the concept of creating portals to get to different areas or to transport objects to different areas is very unique, and the story was excellent, and this is one of the rare games that is actually funny and succeeds at being funny. And like I said, GLaDOS is just one of the best villains ever. She mocks you, but she acts like she cares about you, but she's mocking you, and there's cake at the end of the game, and you have a companion cube, and it's just awesome. If you haven't played Portal, either get the orange box, which has Half-Life 2 and all of its episodes on it, or download it just by itself, and just experience the wonderfulness of Portal. Even if you don't like puzzle games like me, Portal is an excellent game, and it'll just suck you in. The story, the humor, just the characters, everything. Do it. Number 3 on the list is Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. I'm a huge Uncharted fan. I have loved every single Uncharted game, and Uncharted 2 is definitely the pantheon of the Uncharted franchise. It's epic. It introduces Chloe, and you see Drake's and Lathan's. I just made a couple name. Nathan Drake and Elena's relationship deepen, and you get to experience the bromance with Sully again, and you just go on an epic quest to find all these treasures, and it's just, from the first game to this one, it's a huge step up. The graphics are better, the gameplay is better, everything's better. And Nolan North, of course, voices Nathan Drake, and he does an excellent job, but so does Emily Rose and all the other voice actors in the game. It's incredibly beautiful. This is the game that makes Xbox 360 owners want to have a PS3, and it's for a good reason, because it's so fun. It's definitely, if you like Tomb Raider or action adventure games, definitely try Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. It's superb. One of the best games that has ever been created, in my opinion, and it's just a lot of fun. I mean, you don't really get games that are just fun, but it's also really gripping. I mean, the beginning of the game just draws you in immediately, and then it ties in later in the game, and the whole story will blow your mind. So, Uncharted 2, I can't give it enough praise, and of course, as you know, my YouTube channel name is Uncharted Girl 88, so you know how much I love Uncharted. And number 2 on the list is The Last of Us, which is also another Naughty Dog game. And a lot of people thought Last of Us would be Uncharted with zombies, but it's not. It's a tense survival horror game. And you're playing as Joel, who has lost everything, and you meet up with Ellie, and you have to protect Ellie. But in all actuality, she's pretty helpful as an AI companion. She doesn't get herself killed. She's really helpful. She actually helps attack the zombies and humans that are after you. And you're basically just traversing the world trying to deliver Ellie to the Fireflies. And you come across so many just hostile people, and there's like 3 different types of zombies. And it's just very tense. It's a very long game, very, very long. And it goes through a whole entire year, and it goes through all 4 seasons. And and Nolan North is in this game, but I'm not going to tell you who he is because you will not, you don't know it's Nolan North until you've watched the credits. But he does a phenomenal job with the character. And it touches on so many different themes: love, loss, violence, just everything. And ladies and gentlemen, my number 1 game of the top 20 games of this generation is, but I'm done. That was supposed to be a drum roll, but Mass Effect 2! And some of you might be wondering why I put this as number 1. Well, this is my personal favorite game, and I just love it. It's a sci-fi western kind of RPG, and it's just fantastic. The suicide mission is just emotionally wrenching. Like, every time I play it, I can never save all my crew members. And I'm just like, why? Why did so-and-so have to die? I did everything right. But, I mean, the journey is so much fun, even though the destination can be just terrible in an emotional way, not terrible in a bad way, but the journey is so much fun. You get to go to all these different planets. You get to meet all these different species of aliens. You can have a romantic relationship with men or women in the game. And there's just so many cool elements. I mean, you can go to some planets and mine the planets are like ore and materials and all that. And some planets have missions. And a lot of these times when you go to the planets and missions, you recruit new party members. And you just play as Commander Shepard. And Jennifer Hale did an amazing job as Fem Shep, who I played as both times I played through the game. And it's just phenomenal. I mean, everyone did a phenomenal job, all the voice actors, and it's just such an emotionally gripping game. And even if you're not a big sci-fi fan, this game is incredible. And just getting to travel through space, go to different planets, and experience this amazing story that BioWare's crafted. And, you know, getting to prepare the Normandy for the suicide mission. And, you know, everyone's talking like it's Doomsday, which it practically is. But it's just a journey worth traveling. And if you haven't played the Mass Effect series, I highly recommend you pick them up because they're just a highlight of this generation. You care about your decisions because they roll over between each game. And you just want to get a good ending, and when you don't get a good ending, you want to replay it so you can get the good ending. And it is a pretty lengthy game. The first playthrough took me over 25 hours. The second playthrough took me 12 hours because I knew where to go, what to do, all that stuff. And you can be a Paragon or a Renegade. Paragon's good, Renegade's bad. And it's pretty obvious when the option comes up which one's which. And I always choose Paragon because I just cannot be evil. But it's just this game has everything. Romance, RPG elements, action, emotional just distress and happiness, and just so many different emotions just rolled into one ball. I can't express enough how much I love Mass Effect 2. Oh my gosh. So that was my top 20 games of last generation. Let me know what your top games of the generation were, whether that's top 5, top 10, top 20, whatever. And like the video if you liked it, leave a comment down below, subscribe for more epic videos of epic geekiness, favorites so your friends and family can see, and feel free to share me anywhere, as long as it's legal, because, you know, illegal stuff isn't cool. And thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I had so much fun filming this, and I can't wait for next year. That is going to be a great year for gaming. So, I love each and every one of you. Peace and kisses. Bye.